Hello everyone and welcome back. So today I have a card game TBR for you guys. It's inspired by the different TBR games that other booktubers have done, like the Wheel of TBR, Bookopoly. I think there's a Trivia Pursuit one, there's one with D&D dice, and I will link all of the booktubers who have these TBR games down below so that you can check them out, because I think that they're really fun to watch. And it inspired this idea of, well, what if I did something similar but with cards, playing cards? And I kind of thought of it a little bit, wrote down some ideas, and then it just fully fleshed out into I can actually turn this into something to do every month to determine what I'm going to read. So I decided to call this On Deck TBR Shuffle, or just TBR Shuffle for short. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pack of cards. I have assigned each suit and individual card face a prompt. So essentially I condensed it down a little bit so that not every card has a prompt, because that was a lot. So instead what I did was I actually grouped, so the hearts and the spades all followed the same prompt, and the diamonds and the clubs all follow a separate prompt. So essentially I can get the same prompt twice, but I can't get it more than twice. And the rules for this is essentially I have to draw 5 cards, odd number, so that if I do get the same prompt twice, I'm not just reading I don't just have 2 prompts, essentially. So I'm doing 5 cards. I can combine the prompts together, or I can do them all separately. And also too, if I have a readathon during that month, like for example the owls, these aren't two mutually exclusive readathons, if you will. Like, I can integrate my card shuffle TBR into my owls readathon TBR as well, so I can fit those together and not do 5 books for the On Deck Shuffle, the On Deck TBR Shuffle, and then 5 books or 6 books for the owls. So that's a lot, and I'm looking to make this fun and not over-challenge myself, because I think the max I can get if I'm like doing really good with reading is like 6 books max. So we have that for the rules. There aren't any punishments at this time. Again, this is still kind of like the trial period, just trying it out and fleshing it out throughout the year, but I really want to see how this goes, because I do enjoy thinking outside of the box instead of just looking at my shelves, because sometimes I will look at my shelves and be like, I want to read all of these and none of these at the same time. If you guys also experience that, let me know, because it's weird. So I am going to list off all of the prompts, and then what I'm going to do is turn you guys around and actually do the TBR Shuffle for February, because I've yet to do it yet. I have done a couple practice runs to see if this is like a feasible challenge, and it is. So let's get into these prompts. Alright, so I'm reading from my bullet journal, which has, I will put up the picture of it, but that is essentially how I organized all of this. So for the hearts and the clubs, we're going to focus on that, and then I'll move over to the diamonds and, the hearts and the spades, and then I'll move over to the diamonds and the clubs. So for the ace, the prompt is a romance. For the 2, it is LGBTQA plus rep. 3, mood read. 4, oldest on the TBR, from either my bookshelf or my audiobook shelf as well. Number 5 is a fantasy. Number 6 is own voices. Number 7 is a seasonal read. So, for example, a wintry book I would read in December. Something along those lines. If it's spring, I would read something spring-like. So that one is a little bit more different than mood read. Oh no! I'm sorry. My cat just tried to take out my tripod. So this is a little bit different from the mood read because it's more of what is the content versus, ooh, I really, really want to read this right now. So excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry. So number 8 is the newest on my TBR. Number 9 is a sci-fi. Number 10 is a retelling. The Jack is a favorite author, and this isn't necessarily like my all-time favorite. I absolutely love them. It's more of, this is an author where I've read their work and I want to read more of their work kind of deal. The Queen is the highest rated on Goodreads, and the King is a mystery. And then I did include the Joker because this deck right here has 2 Joker cards. So when the black Joker is pulled, that means I have to read a graphic novel or a manga. So moving on to the diamonds and the clubs prompt portion. The Ace is a new author. 2 is the lowest rated. 3 is magical realism. Now, I kind of include magical realism as it's set in our world, but there's magical elements to it, so I will put paranormal romances in that field as well, because a lot of times, like True Blood, paranormal romance, but it's set in our world just with the fantasy elements of vampires and werewolves and all that stuff. So that is kind of what all encompasses fantasy or magical realism for me. So number 4 is a standalone. Number 5 is a gifted book or a book that I got in a subscription box. Number 6 is a buddy read. Number 7 is a horror or thriller. Number 8 is a first in a series. Number 9 is a pet pick, which this I did pull off of the Wheel of TBR from Cody because it is so cute. Essentially what a pet pick is if this comes up, I will choose a couple books and put them on the ground and let my cats, whichever one they go to first, is the book that I'm going to read. We will see how it goes, but it is so adorable with Cody's kitties, so I will also link one of those where she does have a pet pick, because I love animals and I love when you can include them. So number 10 is a YA. The Jack is a next in a series, so it could be the second, the third, whatever. It just can't be the first in a series. The Queen is a middle grade. The King is a POC rep. And then the Red Joker is an adult. And yeah, so those are all the prompts. Again, seeing how this first trial goes, I may expand it a little bit and include new prompts. But the first couple months, I'm going to try it for here. And now I think it's time to turn you guys around and show you how it's going to work. Alright, so again, this is the deck of cards that I'm going to use, called the Lucky Cats, and it's actually a super cute little deck where all of them are some kind of, like, there's the Joker, they're just different kinds of Lucky Cats, and I just think it's too adorable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to riffle shuffle, and then I'm going to overhand shuffle until 5 cards fall out. So it's very random. Now I will say I am not the best shuffler in the world, so be kind. so we have the first one, 9 of diamonds. Once I pull all 5 cards, then I will go back and figure out what prompts correspond. So here's the second one, which is the Jack of Spades. Oops, that was way too many. So next I have, okay, so the Queen of Clubs. So I need 2 more. And here's our fourth one, which is the 2 of Diamonds. All right. Last card. And we've got the 10 of Spades. So there are my February cards. Let me consult my prompts and I will be right back. All right, so as you can see over here, I have my bullet journal with all of the prompts. So let's go one by one. We had the 9 of Diamonds, which is a pet pick. Yay. So I'm going to have to film that and insert a clip later. And then we have the Jack of Spades, which is a favorite author. And then we have the Queen of Clubs, which is a middle grade. And then we have the 2 of Diamonds, which is the lowest rating. Okay, so I'm going to have to go look that up on Goodreads. And then we have the 10 of Spades, which is a retelling. So that's actually pretty cool that I didn't end up getting any duplicates on this first run. So I can either read 5 individual books that fit those prompts, or I can try to combine them. Because, I mean, I could see, like, maybe a favorite author in a middle grade I could combine, or a favorite author in a retelling, but nothing is coming to mind just yet. And then I also have to figure out what pet pick I want to do. So I think for now I'm going to have to do a little bit of research and then come back, because I also have a readathon called the Demonathon that I'm participating in February, and I have to fit those prompts in with these. So I'm gonna need a minute to flesh this out. So I will be right back. All right, so I am back after consulting Goodreads and my shelves and everything to figure out the books that I'm choosing for this TBR shuffle prompt. So I got the pet pick, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them choose between these 2 books. So we have The Forbidden Highlander by Donna Grant. This is a historical romance. And then I have Joan Fluke and the Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder. So this is the first in the Hannah Sweeney series. So I will insert a clip now of which one is the winner from the 2 cats. So I have the 2 books. Who's gone? Oh, look at that! It has been chosen. Forbidden Highlander. Thank you, Luna. All right, so next up I have what my lowest rating on Goodreads is, and come to find out it is The Art of Storytelling by Marsh Cassidy. This was like a 2.8 on Goodreads, so I will be reading this and see. There was only like 7 reviews, so maybe that's why it's such a low rating. Fingers crossed that I don't think it's like a 2. And then I was able to combine 2 of the prompts. So what I'm combining is the favorite author in the middle grade prompt And as a result, I am going to read The Red Pyramid, Book 1 by Rick Riordan. He is one of my favorite fantasy authors, so I haven't read this series yet. I've read the Percy Jackson and I've started the Magnus Chase one, so I'm excited to finally start the Red Pyramid, which is Egyptian fantasy mythology based. And last but not least, for the retelling, I am going to do Once and a Future by Amy Rose Capata and Corey McCarthy. So this is an Arthur retelling in space. So I've had this for a hot minute and I haven't read it yet, so now will be a great time to get through it. Yes, all of these books are pretty big. I was not expecting that, and believe it or not, I actually have another book that I have to add in for the Demonathon, but you guys will have to wait to see how all of these books, plus the other one, is going to be worked into my Demonathon TBR on the next video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Comment down below, let me know what you thought, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Mwah. Bye!